Many of us would like to hunt in exotic locations, and some of us have been fortunate to get to do that. But you got to get there. And getting there requires air travel. And in the case of Africa and places that far away, it requires very long flights that are miserable at best. So we're going to do a little video here and try to talk about a few things that I've found to be beneficial to me and helpful on those long flights, which can run upwards of 15, 18 hours at times, and you're kind of stuck there. So what is it? What are the things that you need to take with you? Well, before we get to the things you need to take with you, you need to use a travel agent. We're going to be hunting, we're going to take a rifle, we're going to a foreign country. In my case, I'm probably going to take at least 3 airlines to get there. I'm going to rely on the expertise of a travel agent to set up my itinerary and get my rifle electronically on my ticket and put all of my flights into one ticket in most cases. From there, we're all going to be relying on our cell phones, as we do these days, for many different things. Having an airline app on your phone is really helpful. One of the things I've learned is these airline apps now have baggage tracking features. When you're traveling with a rifle, being able to look it up and know that it's on the plane with you is absolutely invaluable. So if you can download the app before you go, put your information in there. You may or may not need to make an account. It depends on the situation. Sometimes you can just put the record locator and your name in and get all that information and be able to see it. But in some cases you may need to actually make an account. If so, do that and then have that with you so you can you can look at where you're sitting on the plane. You can make sure as each step of the journey that your bags have been placed on the plane, and especially your gun case. And so what I'm going to do is when I check in, I'm going to actually write down and make a note of which bag is my gun case, which tag number is my gun case, and that way I can follow it through and have that peace of mind. There's other apps that are really handy I've found. Tripcase is one. Previously I mentioned that I'm going to be likely on 3 different airlines. It could be more. Tripcase puts all of your flights and all of your hotel reservations, all that into one really neat and easy to find location. Oftentimes we're stuck in airports for length of time, and most of us are not blessed to be able to have a first class ticket and be able to go into the first class lounges. So there's also a Lounge Buddy app that will help you to look before you go at the airports that you're going to be going through. Is there a lounge you can pay to go into and not have to have status and not have to have a first class ticket? So those are a couple of things with your phone, some apps that you want to have that will help your trip go smoothly. The next thing, a couple of things that I'm going to mention next are really my go-to things, the things that I'm not going to travel without, and that is noise canceling headphones. You're on a plane for a long time, you would not believe the difference that the noise cancellation feature makes in that sound of the engines and the noise of the cabin of the airplane to make you feel more calm. Obviously has better audio. You can do that on the inexpensive side of things with some Sonys that are like $40. But it's important to have noise canceling headphones. What I'm going to have is I'm going to have the Bose headphones. I'm going to have the Bose headphones that are Bluetooth and wireless, and all this time I've been able to use those and enjoy those, but still have to have them wired in. On my most recent trip, I was able to find this Bluetooth adapter that's specifically made for airplanes. This is an RHA brand adapter. And you can literally plug it right into the IFE on the TV screen there and Bluetooth this to your headphones. This is one of the neatest things that I've found in air travel. A tiny little device. You can charge it. On the flight I was on when I used it the first time, there was actually a charging port close enough that I could charge this while it was plugged in because I just bought it and it was brand new. But look up RHA electronics there and get one of those. When you don't have to have a wire, and especially if you're sitting in an aisle seat and people are always coming across you, you're constantly having to get your wires of your headphones and roll them up. So that's really cool and something that I've enjoyed. But don't discount the value of noise-canceling headphones when you're going to be on multiple flights it's going to take you 2 days to get there and 2 days to get home, essentially. The next thing that's really important on a plane for that many hours is a neck pillow. And not the ones that you see that everybody has, the standard little throwaway thing that you find in the airport, typically on every corner. I wouldn't take one of those. We've all had those. They're very ineffective. This is the one I have. There's several models like this. The key to it is that it's made out of memory foam, and it has this high ridge around the top. And it also snaps together. So you can put this around your neck and have it stay in place and be able to you can fall asleep for hours and hours and hours, and your neck is going to stay upright, and you're not going to wake up with a crick in the neck, which for me is, it's terrible, terrible. You don't want to be there. So you can check out this brand, you can check out others, but just make sure that it's made out of memory foam and that it has this ridge along the top. That's going to make a huge difference. These are the kind of things you just won't know until you get there. And if you show up with the regular one, and if you show up with regular earbuds and no noise-canceling headphones, you're just not going to enjoy the trip as much. That said, I wouldn't mind having some regular earbuds for when I'm in the airport and stuff if I don't want to grab the noise-canceling headphones, or if something goes wrong. I mean, you're going to a foreign country. It's always good to have a few extra things. So having your regular earbuds is not a bad idea. The other things is you're going to be on a lot of different flights. There may not be a TV screen. There may be movies that don't suit you, or you could be in the unlucky situation that some people found themselves in, on a 15-hour flight and your TV's broken. So I would always advocate taking an iPad. I'm going to take one anyway so I can keep up with things at home. And having an iPad stand is the only way that that's going to work for you on that long of a flight. You can't just sit here and hold the iPad for hours upon hours. So find a little stand, whatever kind suits you, and take an iPad or a laptop so that you could watch a movie or read an ebook on the plane. Also, taking a regular book is also a great plan. You're going to be traveling for many, many hours, so having a book to read is also really important to pass the time. Your carry-on bag. As you're going on planes, the carry-ons are, some airlines limit you on weight and size, so keep that in mind. Don't take everything. Check your bag. I'm going to take a backpack. I like one with a lot of pockets, like this 511 backpack. It's got a lot of different pockets. I can organize things really well. And the things that I'm going to keep in this backpack, besides the obvious, is I'm going to make sure I have a pen to write with. You've always got customs forms and things to fill out. And I'm going to have a hoodie. You can have a light jacket, whatever you want. You may want to have a heavy jacket packed away in there. But I'm going to have a hoodie like this one. This is from Scree Gear. It is made out of wool. It's really lightweight, it's really warm, and it's really easily packable. And so I'm going to have that because when you're on the airplane, even if you think you're hot-natured like I am, sometimes they can be really, really cold in those airplanes. So having a hoodie you can just slip on that's comfortable, that you can fall asleep in and still be comfortable, I think that's really key. And speaking of sleeping, you may or may not want an eye mask. They always give you ones on the plane, but they're really, really junk. They're never comfortable. They don't fit right. This is one from Eagle Creek that's actually fits you and doesn't. You can blink the way it's designed. It's not gonna. Your eyelashes aren't gonna be touching it, and you feel like you're being suffocated by the thing. So maybe you want to have an eye mask with you before you go instead of using the cheap one that they give you. That might be worthwhile looking into. I'm not a big advocate for taking prescription medication. Some people will take Ambien and that sort of thing to sleep because it is such a arduous journey we're going to be going on. But if that's the way you want to go, that might work for you. But I would say my advice would be just to use melatonin. Melatonin is a natural thing. It'll help you sleep, and it will also help you to get your body clock reset for the time zone that you're going to. You may be changing time zone 7 or 8 hours worth, and so having that it's just essential for me. And what I'm going to do, I love Ziplocs. I'll have Ziplocs of every size. And so I've got these tiny little medicine Ziplocs from Walgreens. So I'll have some melatonin and some magnesium in there that I'll take whenever it's actually bedtime on the plane. And so I can just have that in my pocket and not have to get up and get into my bag. So whether it's all the way up to the big Ziplocs, all the way down to the little Ziplocs, I'm definitely an advocate for Ziplocs. Making sure that you do have what other prescriptions you might need in your bag is important to have that with you on the plane. Anything that's really essential like that, you want to have it with you. I'm going to take my chargers. I'm going to have some chargers, maybe a little power bank. Most of the planes nowadays are going to have a charger there at your seat, but you cannot count on that. It's not always going to be the case. I'm not always a fan of airplane food, so I'm going to take some power bars with me just to have something to snack on, because I might eat one meal and then I might say no thank you to the next, and so I've got something on that long flight. I'm also going to get the biggest bottle of water I can find in the airport and take it with me. So I hope some of these things kind of stimulate some thought and help you to think about planning for your next trip. I know we're always getting our guns and gear ready. We're always getting our hunting boots broken in and really trying to be prepared with everything for a big safari or a big hunting trip overseas. But don't forget to also plan what you're going to do with yourself when you're stuck in that airplane for 15 hours or more at a time there as you travel across the ocean to the other side of the world. So I hope you find something valuable here. I hope some of these things are valuable to you. We'll put some of the information in the notes here of some of these different products.